What is up,
Hey,
every? Oh, sorry.
go no, go
Okay.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
What is up, everyone? This is Nate the Great coming to you live from the All Sports All Plays Network. I am here today with Felix. Felix, how are you doing?
I'm still kicking.
Yes, right down below, I have the scoreboard up for all the games that have went on today. So I will post them like down below. Um, we're gonna go through real quick and talk a little bit, just a couple of topics, some big major news that broke down. To start things off, Degrom, he has to have an MRI. Do you think that the New York Mets will have a playoff push without him? No, can the Mets have a playoff push without him?
So I don't. Without him, without him. They're no one. They're a solid team up and down, but um, obviously they need pitching. They lost Wheeler to the Phillies I believe a year ago now. They Syndergaard is okay. Uh, Marcus Stroman, he's okay. Um, they need pitching. They need him to be healthy. They need him to go as much as possible. I mean, that's obvious. But yeah, if he has like an oblique where it's unknown or something like that, or he could be out for a while. Uh, yeah, might the Mets might have just invested a lot of money in Lindor, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be hard because the NL East is all cramped together. The Braves are they're coming back. They just beat the Phillies today, and yesterday. The Phillies get in that game. Um, Phillies are right there. The Marlins. I mean, before this 2-game losing streak, they were killing it, which is shocking. But I mean, it's the Florida Marlins. They shock everyone. Um, and the Nats. I mean, they're always going to be in it. They're all competitive teams that will be there at the end. So if DeGrom's not there, consider that game one a loss to whoever they're playing. And I don't see them getting out of a 1-game hole with who's their second one? Syndergaard or Stroman? Who's their second one?
uh,
I
I
would.
want to I want to say Stroman was, but it might be Syndergaard.
I mean, it doesn't matter because you got to pitch to tie, and then you got to take the lead. So they have a lot of other issues on top of that, but that's their biggest issue. So they need as much help as they're going to get. And yeah, I don't see them doing anything. Let's hope that he's okay. And I feel for the big dog UL on the station. He's a huge Mets fan, but it is what it is. Uh, Hopefully, DeGrom's not going to be out that long, but if he is, let's go Phils.
I personally I think that the one advantage that the New York Mets have is that this year everything is just competitive. It's not just the East, but across throughout all divisions. I'm being a big Rangers fan here. The Athletics, the number of games separating between the Athletics and Angels first and fifth is literally 5 games. So if it stays competitive, I think at some point, maybe if DeGrom comes back, I don't know what his injury situation is like. So if he comes back, then yes, I think that they're okay. They'll be okay. But without DeGrom, even though it's a competitive, highly competitive year, um, I don't think that the Mets. I don't see the Mets doing it.
Well, this is the thing. He's going to go in for an MRI, so they could show no issues, and he just needs a rest, which might be it, or he can have an oblique or something like that where it takes an extended amount of time to heal. Like there is no time limit on that because he can go out any day Let's say they give him 3 weeks off, goes out and he pulls an oblique again, then guess what? He's going on a 60-day. They don't have a 30-day anymore, so I mean, it'll probably be a 60-day. And you can't rush a player like that back. A player like that on the open market is going to demand top dollar, and you can't force him to do anything. His natural drive is to go out there and compete, and that's what he's doing. So if he can't go, can't force him out, but just hope. All you could do is a player of that stature is make him happy. That's all. Just make him happy.
Yeah.
The new owner's shown that he doesn't mind spending the big bucks, and that's probably what's keeping the Grom there. But again, they gotta hope that it's a minor strain, something like that, where it's a 10-day IL, and that's that. That would probably be the best news that comes out of that.
And something. So I graduating out of high school, I used to play in my high school's marching band, and we had like a motto that a player's I can't remember exactly how it was worded, but a player's health and safety is more important than winning a game, winning a competition, winning whatever you're doing. And the truth, the truth is anywhere, depending on what you do. What's going to be I don't want to worrisome, with lacking a better term there, is that if he gets that oblique, I think that's the most for him. That's the most important thing, is to recover than just to winning a World Series. Now we do have a couple of comments. How about those Braves never giving up?
And then, how about that Phillies bullpen giving it to
him? DeGrom might have more serious issue than they think. 2 warm-up throws and then taking back off the field.
Yeah, that's worrisome right there. But you know what? Again, if he can't, I mean, if he's going to go on a couple IL stints, 2-3 IL stints, that's 30 days. That's what, 6 starts. That hopefully that's enough. But what will the Mets do in those 6 starts? I'm pretty sure they're not going to win.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm going to go. I could go look at the schedule real quick. But as we do that, what are your thoughts on that East Division? Do you think the teams just suck this year, or do you think it's really competitive? I know I discussed my opinion on it.
Yeah, so I think they're all clumped together. It's every team has its own weakness, and it's sort of like it's funny. It's sort of like how rock paper scissors beat each other. That's literally the way it is. The Phillies bullpen gives it up to the Braves. The Braves starters don't show up half the time, so they give it to the Phillies. The Mets clump them both on good nights when the Phillies and the Braves aren't going. The Nats win the games that they're not supposed to win, but then they lose the games that they're supposed to win. It's such a snowfall effect, whereas you can't even. It's impossible. That's just the way I see it, because I mean, think about it. If I've got Nola going out and you've got what's that guy's name, Peterson from the Mets, I mean, I'm already thinking it's a win for the Phillies, hands down. And then half the time it's the other way around, just because the Phillies bullpen can't keep the lead. And then half the time, you go up against Chase Anderson, Phillies 5th starter, or Vince Velasquez, and let's say the Nats have Corbin going out, and somehow the Phillies pull it through. It's ridiculous. It's like, what's going on? But again, I believe it's like a huge rock, paper, scissors fight in between the division, because one team can beat the other any day of the week. Bryce Harper was just out for 2 games, and they won both those games. How? I don't know. Didi Gregorius was out those 2 games as well. They still won. They had some kid, Nick Maton, out of a 7th-round pick who's hitting the ball left and right. What's going on? So, again, it's a huge rock, paper, scissors fight. The last team standing at the end will probably win. And, this is the type of year where the Marlins could sneak right through. And I hate to say it, but it's one of those years where the Marlins might be able to sneak right through just because all the teams are clumped up together.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to laugh at this, and I'm going off topic for a little bit, but
Sure.
John says that Detroit finally got their 10th win. So, and a couple of episodes ago, John gave a bold take that the Detroit Tigers are not going to get over 20 wins this year.
Oh, my God. Wow. 20? They're already halfway there.
Yeah. And they're one of the worst teams in the league, and even then they are still halfway there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm shocked that they're not trying to trade Miguel. I would trade Miguel just to have him try to win a World Series and get some prospects. Pay half of his salary and get some prospects and start all over. I mean, that's what's going to have to happen. Detroit's where Scherzer came from, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with Verlander, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, Verlander and him were on the same team, so I think they both played for Detroit. So, I would listen. They lost Scherzer. Imagine having Verlander, Scherzer, and Miguel Cabrera on the same team. Oh my God. So, but yeah, I would just trade them, get as many prospects as you can to see where you will stand. I don't know why he's still on the team. They're not going to win anything. Give him one last hurrah. He's got what? I think like 3 years left on his contract. Pay a year and a half off, pay 2 years off, and get some prospects. Start rebuilding. Unlike the Rockies, who give out players for free.
Oh my gosh. So to go on to the next topic, I know I talked about this. I talked about this on 2 other shows, but Albert Pujols, they announced the other day. They announced Thursday when I actually was having a. They actually announced Thursday on Thursday Full Count. Well, Albert Pujols is being cut from the Angels. Let's just say that. I'm going to say it again, even though I talked about it on 2 different shows. I don't like it. I don't like it. He had 1 more year left. Why don't you just pay it off? And besides, Albert Pujols said he was going to retire. So what was the point? I mean, it might have been better year on the Angels standpoint. I get that. But what was the point on Albert Pujols? Like, what is he just going to retire? Or is he going to go back to the Cardinals and play for the rest of the season? What?
So I was reading a couple stories, a couple reports, and they were saying how the Angels were trying to press him to retire. And he said, "No, I'm not retiring." And that being said, he got in a argument with Joe Madden, the manager, the old Cubs manager, and the GM and everything. And the next day, they just released him. I guess they wanted to free up that money, or have him retire, or whatever. But you can't force a player that's a first ballot Hall of Famer to retire. I mean, you offered him a 10-year deal. Think about what that is before you offer it. 10 years. So imagine if this would have happened before Trout signed his deal. Would Trout sign there? Hell no, I wouldn't. Yeah, it's $425 million, something like that. But look how they treated him at the end of his career. I can guarantee you the Phillies would not do that with Bryce Harper at all. At all. And you can't do that. Now, you don't think the next player coming through won't see that? They just screwed themselves. They're going to have to start drafting. No one will sign with them after this because now they know that they're non-committal to their players. And I'm just telling you, if I'm Trout and I get that offer and then this happens, I think twice about signing it because I know I'll get that money on the open market easy. It's not like the Angels are going to win anything. Imagine if the Oakland comes through and offers them that money. You know, they don't spend any money. So it's just food for thought. I mean, if I was Mike Trout, I'd ask for a trade. And Mike Trout's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Are we in agreement there?
Yeah. I would agree with you on that.
So, I mean, if I'm him, I'm seeking a trade right now because the way they treated Pujols, what makes you say that they won't treat him like that? It's ridiculous. I think he had 1 year left. 1 year. You offered him $10 million. It's not like he demanded that or anything else. You offered him those years and that money. Now you're telling him to retire?
As much as I hate to say it, being a guy that was born in Colorado, I think he's going to go to the Dodgers. I think if he does demand a trade, I see it being Dodgers.
I could see him going to the Dodgers. I could see him going to the Padres. I could see him going to the Nats. I could see him going to. He might go back to St. Louis. Who knows? Give Goldschmidt a little bit of a break here and there.
I was referring to Mike Trout.
Oh, Trout. Oh, okay, Trout. Well, hey, if he demands a trade, it's what the Angels get. You know, not every team has the right prospects.
True.
You know, so the Dodgers might have a good team, but you know, what are their prospects looking like? If they win the World Series, you know, they're going to have the last pick in the draft. So, not to say they won't get anyone, but come on. I mean, I could see him going to the Cubs, to be honest with you. I mean, eventually.
If you want to talk prospects, then what about the Rays? They have the best farm system in the league.
They do, but they don't have the payroll for that.
True.
They don't have the payroll for that. They do have the prospects. They do have that. They're just like the Marlins. They will pay one or two players, you know, enough money to keep everyone quiet, but they won't go above and beyond that. Money is over anything to them. They don't care about rings. They don't care about nothing. I don't want to say, no, that's wrong. They care about it, but their number one priority is to make money, which is everyone's, but as fans, we don't like to hear that. We like to hear championships and so forth. But like I said, he might be a Red Sox. I hope Bryce talks to him again and gets him in a Phillies uniform. You know, they're best friends. And, you know, Trout's from the New Jersey area, the tri-state, so really close to Philly. He's a huge Eagles fan. So hopefully they could talk. Hey, you give us Trout. Hey, man, there's my roster. Pick and choose. Everyone except Bryce and Nola and Wheeler. Everyone else, you know, go at. We'll go from there. But yeah, if I'm Trout, I'm looking because what if he has a bad year 1 year? Everyone's due for a bad year here or there, right? You're baseball players, so yeah, I feel bad for Pujols. That it shouldn't come out like that. It shouldn't go like that. And again, if I'm a free agent, what are you going to offer me to bring me to the Angels? Money. But now you're telling me you offered him $10 million and told him to retire. I just think it's bad business. That's all. You're trying to run a franchise, a baseball team, and you were lucky enough to sign Pujols, and now you're treating him like he's garbage. It's so disrespectful. It's crazy.
Now to compare what I think, if I was Albert Pujols, giving a little bit of a sports comparison, I think I think what Albert Pujols should do is what Jason Witten is doing this year. I think Albert Pujols, I mean Jason Witten, he's going back to the Dallas Cowboys to play one game and then retiring as a Cowboy.
Oh, okay.
I think Albert Pujols should go back to the Cardinals, but only to finish off the remaining of the season.
That could happen. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that could happen. Finish their season and then retire as a Cardinal. He, like I said, or he might want to try to get a better chance to win a chip. Like I was saying, he could go to the Padres to talk to Machado and talk to Tatis and try to guide them. You could go to the Dodgers. I mean, not like they need him, but he could help. You could go anywhere really. That a team that has the aspirations of making a playoff push and getting there. And that's probably what he's waiting on. He's going to see where everyone plays out and sees where he could, he's probably just going to sign for the minimum at this point because he already got paid. He doesn't have to work another day of his life. So hopefully he gets on a team and gets another ring.
Now, it completely dawned on me. We were talking about the Mets earlier. I just realized I didn't. I said I was going to look at the schedule. You brought up about the next 6 games. I see maybe 2 wins. Maybe 2 wins.
No. I meant 6 wins throughout. Like, let's say he's on the DL for a 3 10-day DL stints. That's 30 games, and 5 starts. That would be. I mean, 6 starts. That would be 5 weeks. 6 times 5, 30. So it'd probably be like 6 starts. And I'm just talking about those starts and those games that he would be out for next. I'm just throwing numbers out there. I don't think that. Again, I hate to talk about players' injuries because I don't know, but that's the scary thing about it is that we don't know. And again, back stiffness is no joke, and the thing is, everyone's so close together. If the Mets fall that far behind, it might be like 07 again, where the Phillies are like 13 games back or something like that, and they come back and win the NL East, something crazy. So,
or something like the Nationals, where they go back and they started off.
Yeah,
they started off like they're like 15-50, and all of a sudden they go out and they win the World Series.
Yeah. So, but again, that can happen. But knowing the Mets and listen, they're having trouble now. So that being said, I wish nothing but the best for them. Even though I'm a Phillies fan, I hate to see players go down, but because when you watch baseball, when I watch baseball, I like to see the best competitors go at it. When Bryce got hit in the face the other day, what was it, last week, with that 97-mile-an-hour fastball? I mean, I literally fell. I'm like, oh my God. Please don't tell me he's done. And he's just a competitor. As soon as he got out of the hospital, he said, "Hey guys, I'm good. I'll be back." That's the competitor that he is. No one forced him to go back. No one told him, "Hey, take 2 days." No one said that. He said he's coming back out. So,
yeah, I'm not a Phillies fan, but I am a fan of Bryce Harper. So even though I don't feel the same way with the rest of the roster with that team, I do want him to do well. So,
well, see, the thing is with this team, we had a bad GM, and he made bad picks on top of bad picks. We got Real Muto. We just re-signed him. I'm happy with that. Best catcher in the game. But that being said, the rest of the team isn't up to par. I mean, we have Nola, we have Wheeler. Vince Velasquez isn't that good. That Chase Anderson, I didn't know him up to this year. And who am I missing? I forget. But It doesn't matter. Those are the only two starters that will actually go out and win you a game if you need it. So
Yeah.
that's what has to be done. And right now, like the bullpen sucks. So we're going to need those starters going out 8, 9 innings. So, but again, like I said, the NL East is also close. And if the Mets fall too far back, I don't see them coming back in the picture, in the playoff picture.
I only do. It really depends on his injury because I only do because of how close they are. If it was like, hey, first place is above fifth place by 20 games. I didn't know it's not that much, but like if it was like that, then I wouldn't see that happening. But
right, but I mean, if you think about it, they're struggling now. Think about how much more they're going to struggle without him. That's the thought process behind that.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, I'm a huge fan of the polar bear, Alonso. I think he's going to be a beast for years to come. Lindor, that was a great trade. Michael Conforto, he's a solid player. They got some solid players over there, and I don't want to count them out, but without DeGrom, I think that it's going to be tough for them, without a doubt. It's going to be they're going to dig a hole too deep, and they won't be able to get out. Just think about it. How you got DeGrom? Let's say he's out for 30 games, 6 starts, whatever, and his first game back, he has to go up against Scherzer. How do you feel about that? That's another loss because you don't know how he's going to come back. Then the following game, you got to play the Nats against Corbin. Think about that. Then you might have to go and play against. I don't even know Strasburg. He might be off the DL, but no, he just got on. He just got put on the big DL, right? So at that point, just Stroman's going to have to be better. Syndergaard's going to have to be better. Peterson's going to have to be better. And I just don't see it. I think that's who they are okay players who will get through a start here and there. And they would have to make a trade. And funny, you brought it up earlier about Strasburg not Strasburg. Scherzer.
Yeah, Scherzer.
I doubt they'll trade within the division. But
yeah,
that would be pretty sick if you have Scherzer, DeGrom coming back, Stroman.
It's very rarely you see it in. I think the last time, what I know lately, there's been one in the division trade outside of the number of recent Rangers players over to the Athletics, but
well, I mean the Phillies got Real Muto from the Marlins.
True.
So that was a good, but we did give up our best, prospect we had in years, Sixto Sanchez. He's going to be a beast. Oh my God. When he comes up, it's going to be hell. Oh my God. And then, I'm trying to think. I know,
the Yankees sent one guy. I know the Yankees made a trade with the Red Sox pretty recently.
Yeah. I remember that. But again, I don't think it was like a big time trade. I just think it was like, big, middle type players, middle tier players. But listen.
So we do have a comment actually. John Suggs, he says that because there's been 4 no-hitters this year, but technically there should have been 5.
Mm-hmm.
With Bumgarner, didn't get recognized because it was only 7 innings. Do you think that there's going to be 10 no-hitters this season, and then he says it's either made up or double hitter? Can't remember.
I don't think so. Just because the warmer weather's coming, and you know what happens in warm weather, the ball flies, and they're going to start hitting the ball. It's during the winter months where it's hard to hit the ball because the bat, the ball, it's harder to do it in the winter or when it's colder out than it is in the summer. I think, listen, Bumgarner got screwed out of that, and I feel for him. But to be honest with you, it's 7 innings. It shouldn't count. You can't even give him a half for that. But all you got to do is say, hey, man, great job. You earned this paycheck. That's it. I mean, you still technically there's still some outs to go.
I think we might. And I only say that because of playoffs. When playoffs that's around October, and that's when the colder weather comes back. So when playoffs hit, I think that we might, but I do think we're going to have like a break, maybe get 1 or 2 no-hitters throughout the summer. But when we come back and hit the playoffs, that's when we're going to start seeing more.
Yeah, I see that. The only thing that's stopping me from agreeing with you 100% is that I'm in the middle. We're in the middle of May right now. It's Mother's Day right now. And it's like 55 degrees in Philly. So, I mean, that's not considered warm weather to me. So I'm just hoping that it starts picking up in June. And if it picks up in June, I'm thinking it's going to go through September. You know what I mean? So, and yeah, it might get colder in October, but we'll see. We'll see. But listen, anything's possible.
I know we saw one of the no-hitters was against the Rangers, unfortunately. How many no-hitters do you see this season that are in dorms? Like not outside, but like inside.
Oh, indoors?
Indoors.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I know the Rays play indoors, right?
Yeah, Rays play indoors.
Marlins have that retractable roof, right?
Yeah.
So they could play indoors. The Brewers, do the Brewers play indoors?
I don't remember. I don't think so though.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't think so because I saw one of their games, but then they didn't have it. Unless if it's in the retractable roof, I don't think so.
Yeah. Does Minnesota play indoors? Do they play in that Viking stadium?
No.
Or do they have their own?
I don't think there's any MLB team that shares a stadium with NFL. Not anymore, anyways.
Okay. So, I mean, those are the only two I could think of off the top of my head. I'm trying to think.
Seattle has indoor.
Oh, Seattle does? Okay. Well,
I don't know.
It's going to be tough. I mean, it's either Seattle's getting shut out or because I don't see any of their starters going at it. So it all depends who's going to see it. But again, it's hard for a team in the East to travel to Seattle cross country. You know what I mean? And get used to the time zone and stuff. That's always been a big thing with traveling out west for the East teams. So if it does happen, hey, all for it. But it's just hard for me to see because, again, that's so many outs that they have to do and so many things have to fall into place. It's just if it happens, hey, that's awesome. It's just too many pieces have to fall in the right place for it to happen for me to see. Like I was watching that Roy Halladay perfect game, man. I was watching there.
I didn't see that.
And against the Marlins, and I'm like, oh my God. And I was like, hey, everyone at the bar, hey, don't say a word. Don't say it. We see it. Don't say it. And then one guy gets up and says, but they got a 1 on the end. And I'm looking at him like, come on, man. There's an E there. It's an error. Come on, what are you doing? So he was like, oh, I messed up. I'm like, all right, dude, just sit down. You're gonna ruin the day in the game. And
oh no.
And exactly. That's what I had to deal with that day. But the bar was very pleasant, and they offered to buy everyone 1 round of drinks after that, and we all celebrated, and it was great. It was great. It was a full house too. I believe it was a Sunday. It was like a Sunday night or a Saturday. No, it wasn't Saturday. It felt like it was like a one of the off days, when people don't go out partying because the crowd is really mellow. So it must have been like a Sunday afternoon, a Sunday evening game. And when that last ball was caught, man, oh my God, the bar just blew up. That was probably one of the funnest. Besides the World Series and stuff like that, that was probably one of the best moments.
Jeez. So I hate it when people jinx the outcome of the game. I was watching the other day. It was a Diamondbacks game, and my brother says out of nowhere Arizona's gonna lose. They ended up losing that game by 10 home runs.
Oh.
And when he said that, it was middle of the first inning. So
he's probably looking at the betting lines. Oh man, yeah. Look, Arizona was just halfway to a no-hitter. They almost got no hit like a week ago or something like that, right? I forget who they were playing, but it was like 5 innings where they didn't have a hit. And then the announcer said it, and then the next hitter got a hit. Yeah.
So we do have one more comment, but we don't have any more topics. A few days ago, John Means almost had a perfect game for the Orioles, so could be 6 or 7 no hitters. Oops. Oh.
Oh man, sorry,
realize.
Terribly sorry. Yeah. I don't know. It's so hard. It's so hard to have a perfect game. You need right now. You need a top caliber pitcher, and guys are bunting on base now. So I mean, I don't know. It's just until I see it, it's hard for me to believe it.
All right. So that concludes our show. Any final thoughts before we get this a close?
So I got a quick thing to talk about. Nick Pivetta, Boston Red Sox pitcher. Cole, what the hell is his name? The former Phillies starter, bullpen guy, Cole.
Not long, but
yeah, I forget his name. They both got traded. Cole went to the A's, and Cole Irvin went to the A's, and Nick Pivetta went to Boston, and they're killing it. They're killing it. What is going on with the player development? I don't know what's going. We traded Pivetta for a bag of peanuts, literally a bag of peanuts, and he's killing it for Boston. We traded Irvin to the A's for another bag of peanuts, and he's killing it. I don't know what's going on with the Phillies, but player development has to get better. Our starters are awesome, but we need bullpen help out the wazoo. And they could be 2 huge pieces. I'm a little frustrated. Plus, we just lost to the Braves. Let's hope for a sweep of the next series.
That reminds me. Before I get on to my last final thought. So, the situation you just talked about kind of reminds me of Pittsburgh Pirates pitchers, because you have guys like Garrett Cole, who started off with the Pittsburgh Pirates and then doesn't do well with the Pittsburgh Pirates, but then goes off to a new team, and boom, they start their own era. My last final thought is we start off with the Rangers. We ended up taking this series 2-1, which is the Mariners. But we go up against we play a tough one, and I think we might get one game out of it. We play the Giants. I see maybe one. I don't know. If we get one win, I think it might be that third game, because for whatever reason, we always ended up winning the series closers.
Listen, I'm just going to be honest with you. The Giants are frauds. They're frauds. They're a team of journeyman players who've never done anything. Um, just think about it. They've got Evan Longoria. What has he done besides help the Phillies win the World Series in '08? Uh, and he played for the Rays. And Crawford, Brandon Bell, Buster Posey, who's barely playing anymore. You know, his knees are shot. I can't even name. They got that. What's that guy's name? That his grandfather played. He's like their outfielder. Starts with a Y or something like that. Michael. I mean, he's okay, but he's like another player with a chip on the shoulder. So I think they're frauds. I had a family friend, a friend of my brother-in-law's, who used to play for the Giants. His name was Mac Williamson, and what happened was he got a concussion in one of the games, and now he's not playing anymore. But he played for the Giants, and he said, "Listen, man, they're a good team. They just can't put it together." And this was like last year, before you know any of this, when they had Bumgarner. Now that he's not there, like I said, they're just winning games that they're supposed to win, but towards the end of the season, they're going to fizz out, and they're not going to do anything. I just think they're right now out there. They're playing well. It's warmer weather. They're hitting the ball, but I think that's a fraud team.
Yeah. All right. So this has been Nate the Great and Felix signing out, and we will see you guys next week. Well, for me, I'll see you tomorrow on ASAP Wrestling Hour. Stay tuned in for that, by the way. No, that's Tuesday.
Later.
But you get the point.
Later.